In this video we will show how to improve the geometry of a way that has been mapped without enough accuracy. This is the opposite of correcting a way that has been mapped with too many unneeded, redundant nodes. We will apply this to a waterway, but we could do this with many other types of ways, like roads, paths, barriers, land use areas, etc. We will also show how to correct the direction of a way, when this has a meaning. For example, waterways have to be mapped in the direction of the water current. Another example are one-way roads, like a residential street where cars can only drive in one direction. To finish the video, we will show how we can combine two segments of a way into only one segment. Let's start correcting the accuracy of a way. We select this way clicking in one of its segments and we zoom out to check what its direction is. We can see that the direction goes from east to west, until it flows into the Niger River. If we zoom in again and we unselect the way, we can see that the blue arrows indicate us that the direction of the waterway is correct in this case. Let's now check its accuracy, selecting again the way and zooming in even more to have a close look. We can see that its accuracy is not good enough, so we will have to correct the position of some of its nodes and adding extra nodes to the way too. We have two possibilities to correct the accuracy of a way. The first method will be as follows. If we have a look to the segment we have in view that has this node and this other node as ending points, there is a plus sign at the middle point that we can use to add a node, just clicking on it, in select mode, and dragging it with the mouse left button, to the position where we want the new node. We go to the next point where we want to add a node, and we use the plus sign of the nearest segment like with the previous one. Again the same with the next point. Now that we have one of the ending points of the old segment, we can move it, selecting it and dragging it to the right position. And we could continue using this method to add more nodes to the way, like this node for example. This method is okay if we need to add some nodes to an existing way. But if the length of the way that we want to correct is big enough, we will better use the Improve Way Accuracy tool. We will explain this second method now. We will first undo the modifications we have done with the first method, with Ctrl+Z. We select again the waterway. To select the Improve Way Accuracy tool, we need to go to the chosen menu, and under Mode we look for the Improve Way Accuracy tool. That has the key W as shortcut. We click on it to activate it. We see that it is activated because we get a second dotted red line that moves with our mouse. If we hold down the Control button we can add a new node in any place we wish, between the two nearest nodes of the way. The same way we add another one further west. But, if we release the Control button, we can move existing nodes, like this one, to the location we wish. We drag the node to a position a bit to the west. Clicking in different positions will move the node to those positions. Holding down again the Control key, we can add more nodes and continue improving the way accuracy. But if we release the Control button, the nearest node is highlighted. Meaning that we could move the node to any position. But we hold down the Control key again and we continue adding nodes. Again, sometimes we will find nodes that we can move to a correct position, like this one. We release the Control button to move the node, and holding down again the Control button we continue. And we go on with this procedure, holding down the Control key when we wish to add new nodes, and releasing that key when we want to move existing nodes. When we reach the limits of our downloaded area, we can add a couple of nodes more and we can consider the way geometry corrected. To deactivate the Improve Accuracy tool, we can click on the Select tool of the left panel, or just hit the S shortcut key. We click in an empty area of the map to unselect the way. And, zooming in, we can see that the accuracy of the way is now much better. Now we will focus on the way that lies to the east of this way. This is a continuation upstream of the waterway, but if we look the blue arrows, we see they are going the wrong direction. So we have to reverse this direction. To do this, we select the way and we go to the Tools tab in the menu and we select Reverse Ways. Or easier, we can use the R key as shortcut. This will open a new window that warns us that we are changing the way direction of a waterway. We can also change the options if you don't want this warning to be shown again. We click on the Yes button. And we can see that the arrows of the way point now in the correct direction, downstream. Now, as both ways are just two consecutive segments of the same waterway, we can combine them into one single way. We hold down the Control button and we select both ways. We can see that both ways are in red color, meaning they are both selected. We go now to Tools in the menu. And we select the Combine way. We could also use the C key shortcut tool. We get a new window that warns us that the two ways to be combined have two conflicting tags. One has the intermittent and source keys, while the other doesn't. We click on the Yes button and we get the two ways combined in only one way. If we unselect the way and we click on any segment of the waterway, we can see that it is only one way now, instead of two different ways. Before we leave, we will correct the geometry of the upstream leg of the waterway, and add some nodes until we reach the limit of the downloaded area. We will use the first method to improve accuracy, because we have to deal only with a few nodes. We move nodes to a more correct position. Sometimes we can move a few nodes to a temporary position to rearrange them, and then move them at ease. Finally, with the last node selected, We can click on the Add button and continue a little bit the waterway beyond the limit of the task, so others can complete it further upstream. And this way we can consider that the geometry is now correct. We lacked only checking the tags of the waterway, and correct them if needed.